Hi everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today I wanted to share with you guys my team make and take. So each month I design a card for my team members, and then I send them a little card kit with all of the contents to create the card with me. So we kind of create it virtually since not all my team members are local. So this is the card that we are going to be creating today. This was inspired by something I saw on Pinterest. So I kind of changed up the colors and am using kind of an odd technique here for the background, which I've never done before. I'm not even sure if it can be called a technique, but I thought I would share it with you. But I love how the tranquil tide and the gold work together. It's just beautiful. So let's go ahead and get started. For our card base, I have a piece of the tranquil tide. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I have a piece of Whisper White that is cut 3 3/4 by 5. I have another piece of Whisper White that is cut 4 by 5 1/4. This is for the inside. And then I have a scrap piece of Tranquil Tide. That's what we're going to use to emboss. And then I am using the layering squares, framelets. I have a gold foil one and then a Whisper White one. This is what we're going to use for our background. And these, I believe it's the second largest and then third largest, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. All right. So why don't we start with our background. So I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper here. We're going to use this for our embossing too, so we might as well. I have my Tranquil Tide ink, and I have my Crushed Curry ink, okay? And then I am using tissue paper, just tissue paper crumpled up, and I'm just dipping that into my ink pad, and I am just splotting it onto my Whisper White. So you can do this as dark as you'd like, or as fair. I do want to see the Crushed Curry behind my Tranquil Tide, which is a much deeper color. So you can see I'm started with the curry, and then we'll finish with the Tranquil Tide. And then you can tell at this point if you want to put in a little bit more of the Crushed Curry to make that pop behind the Tranquil Tide. Okay, so I'm not even sure if that's a technique out there. I didn't even take a look, but it was very easy and simple to do since I had some of that still in my studio from all my candle making. And then we will go ahead. I already have die cut our leaves, and this is out of the, let me see what they're called because I'm going to say it wrong, the Seasonal Layer Thinlits. Okay, so this coordinates with the Colorful Seasons stamp set. And I have die cut the detailed leaf in the gold foil and then the solid leaf in the gold foil. Now we're going to stamp that detailed leaf on our scrap of Tranquil Tide. Sorry, losing my train of thought there. With our Versamark. Okay, so we are going to stamp that down. The Versamark is what you want to use when you are embossing. That stays a little bit wet for you to be able to get your powder on. So I'm going to close up my Versamark. I'm going to bring back that scrap piece of paper that we just used. And then, as you guys know, I keep my embossing powders in little containers with a spoon. Then I can just easily put that on there. That looks good. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to lift this up and put this right back in to my container. And set that aside. Alright, we're going to bring the heat tool in and emboss this, and then we are going to die cut this out. I love embossing. Love it. I really do think it's my favorite technique. Okay, so now we can bring in that big shot. Line this up with your big shot. Hopefully with the camera I can see it. I think that's about right there. Okay, we're going to run this through. I apologize for the wobble. Alright, so we can go ahead and assemble. So I will bring back in my Whisper White. This is the 3 3/4 width. Add some fast fuse. You want to make sure you've got a nice even border like that. We're going to take our tissue paper colored piece and adhere that, to our gold. Same thing, just give yourself an even border. That looks good. Alright, some more fast fuse here. This is such a stunning card in person. Okay, so I am going to take a dimensional. I'm going to put a dimensional on the small solid leaf. And I'm going to put that this way. I'm going to use a glue dot. I'm going to put one right here in the base of our detailed leaf, because I want that to be able to pop up on the card. Okay, and then I'm going to add fast fuse on my embossed leaf. This one is just going to come down that way. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then for the sentiment, you could use one of the sentiments out of your Colorful Seasons set that coordinates with this. I'm actually using one of the stamps out of our September 2017 paper pumpkin, and this says keep calm and be thankful. I'm going to stamp that right there. Okay, and then we just have one more piece, and that would be doing our inside layer. So I'm just going to give this a nice score. I want to make sure I have it straight. Take my bone folder, nice crease. Here is my 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Whisper White. We're going to put that on the inside. The Treacle Tide isn't, too deep where you have to include an inside layer. You could see a black pen on this color, but I like to do it. I think it just gives it a nice look. Okay, and there we go. So that completes our card. And my team members, I actually did one in the Fresh Fig. I had to think about that for a second. So you will be getting a kit in the Fresh Fig, but the Tranquil Tide looks just as good. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you want more information about joining my team, I would love to have you. Again, you don't have to be local to be on my team, and you can join as a hobbyist for your own discount, or you can join to make yourself a little business as well. So if you do have any questions, feel free to comment, and I'd love to chat with you about it. Otherwise, I will have a full supply list in the description of the video, and I look forward to being back with you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.